Here we go, game two, finally going to be given off picks and bans. We are into it. Envy up 1-0 against Eager here. Guan Yu banned out again. A lot of sustain. The horse is amazing. The cavalry charge being used to great effect. It has one of the highest damages in the game.
This is definitely the Cloud9 style where you do target ban, not necessarily meta bans. They definitely don't want to deal with Eager's Guan Yu, and that's just a respect ban.
Yeah, I mean, Guan Yu is played in the jungle on Xbox, and he is actually, I mean, I was talking to the guys, and they said he's one of the best, if not the best pick in the jungle for Xbox.
And why is the reason for that? Did they explain?
No, I didn't bother to ask.
Oh, okay, cool. Hades going to get banned out as well. Envy still respecting, you know, the opposition of Eager here. They want to ban that one out. So will they look to pick up Osiris here themselves? Do you expect Envy?
Well, this is very interesting because Xing and Bellona are still open. So we expect to see one of them being picked up because Team Eager could always pick up both if they wish.
Maybe a Soul, though. Maybe a Soul. I mean, you saw Epsilon do that here earlier. And I know I was like, what are they doing? They gave up Xing and Bellona, but yeah, they both ended up not being picked.
Envy going to be on the order side this time round, and they're currently considering what their option is going to be for first pick. Osiris on the table, which Omega could run again. And it's going to be the Bellona. Not a real surprise to see that in com.
It's hard not to pick Bellona. Not only was she in the amazing Smite trailer, but there's a reason. It's because she is amazing and strong and bad to the bone.
Yeah, I mean, she also happens to be Omega's favorite pick. Every time Bellona's open, he's like, pick Bellona, first pick Bellona. He loves the god.
So with Bellona being taken here, what are we looking for Eager in response? Do we go for the, what's a good matchup here, Sobek?
They could do Sobek, or I would expect a Xing here, maybe a Xing.
Got called, Xing got through.
Xing.
For some reason, I expected Xing was perma-banned, but no, he did get through, and Eager going to be looking at hovering over that one. And where do you look to next? Your jungler? You're looking for something safe here?
I think you could pick pretty much any position you want. Maybe you want to take away the Thor from Weekend, but I don't know why you would want to do that. Or you might want an Isis, which actually has two forms of CC to stop the Bellona's bludgeon. Things like that.
Shoutouts to Kiki, by the way, getting target banned both times here from Eager. He's new to the support role, having just switched from the mid lane and already getting target banned at him. It's just a testament to how good of a player he is.
Or how good Capri and Athena are.
That's also a good call, that, Incon. I mean, he's right.
Banning Athena and Capri over Xing and Bellona, though, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's a good call, but also, you know, I mean, one of the strategies a lot of teams do is that you either ban both or you don't ban either, and you just trade off depending on your preference.
Well, they're having a good old think here, the boys of Eager, about exactly where they want to go with the next one. They're still hovering over Xing, and the options are on the table for them. Will they look for maybe taking a Medusa this game, potentially, or do you reckon they're quite happy with what they ran last time? Maybe Aircougar will see him on Ho Yi again?
Maybe, you know, Cougar felt like he got ahead, but he couldn't do too much on the Hu Yi, so I would expect maybe a change-up, maybe a hyper carry in the X-Ball. Or, you know, you could see the Medusa as well.
The Soul is still open here. We can't forget about the Soul. Such an incredibly strong pick. Not to mention it's also a flex pick because she's a perfectly viable mid lane.
Quick question, though, Bull. I was going to say mid lane. If you put Soul in the mid lane, what's the matchup versus Cuckoo like? Because Kukulkan is just going to farm and Soul's just going to farm, right?
I mean, any matchup, any god against Kukulkan is just going to be a snooze fest because Kukulkan's just going to put down his tornado and then walk away. Yeah.
Soul does have the capability, though, to really outplay a Kukulkan. If you time the 3 correctly and get the immunity frame for the Kukulkan ult, that could be all kinds of crazy outplay.
You're playing levels of skill there that I'm not sure anybody has, let alone, you know.
No, we're PC players. We got that, remember?
You do?
Yeah.
You two don't. You didn't make it.
Oh.
Just saying.
It's all right.
Epsilon made it.
Enemy made it.
As did Enemy. Yo, shout outs to Enemy, though. Did a really good
out.
performance to make it all the way through. Big shout outs to them. So it's looking like they're going to be looking at taking Xing and potentially Chiron here. It seems to be the pick. Chiron, they went to it last time. Cyclone had that on Team Envy, but this time we're going to see your boys potentially take that one away.
Yeah, I mean, Chiron's just an overall strong pick. You could pick him blindly. He doesn't have any counterplay. He doesn't really have any counter picks. Pretty much, I always consider him just like Neith. He's just like Neith,
just
a little bit stronger in lane than Neith, in my opinion, but doesn't have the global presence that Neith does.
And does he have the hyper carry status that some of the other hunters do?
So-and-so.
He transitions better than Neith.
He does transition better than Neith, but the thing is, he doesn't have any steroids. He doesn't have an attack speed steroid. He doesn't have physical power steroid, which the other hyper carry.
He does have that technically ranged execute with the 2, right? Because he can follow that all the way over through the map. We saw that actually happen on PC the other day.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool ability. Some of the best, you know, plays I've had personally with Chiron is, you know, the enemy like teleports over a wall, or they think they got away, and then I just use my 2 and walk away. That's one of
you
the,
hit your auto lock ability instead of, ulting through the wall and killing him with, the skill shot.
I had to hit an auto first.
Listen to this kid.
In order to
he played Geb for so long and the shield got called. Hey, what a great player. Good job, everybody. Chiron has finally been locked in alongside Xing 10. Back over to Envy we go. Where are we looking for, Incom? What do you want your boys to pick?
Right now, we have a lot of great options open. I would actually love to see a Geb Sylvanus pick. I know Kiki loves the Sylvanus, so let's get one of those great supports out here to get things started. And then, of course, we can look towards either our mid lane or our jungler. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Thor pick again with how well
I think the Thor is going to be picked up for sure here. And then, like Incon said, maybe the supporter, maybe Allied might just go for the KikiSoCheeky afraid of a target ban.
So will he go for it's a good call that. I think if he likes Cuckoo so much, why not just go straight back there now before he gets banned away in
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the Thor KikiSoCheeky pick here just to have that combo they had last game, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went for support.
Do you really want a target ban out of KikiSoCheeky, though?
It's Xbox, though. He's really OP on Xbox.
To be fair, I mean, he's got great secure at the Gold Fury as well, and the ability to juke abilities is not that easy. That's how Ally put it. It was like, it's much more difficult to do side steps away from that and get the turning down because you've got hypersensitivity.
It would partner really well, actually, if they went Sylvanus as well. If they grabbed a Sylvanus KikiSoCheeky, that kind of knockup capability, then there's absolutely no way to get out of the Sylvanus ult because you can't beat the knockup unless you preemptively beat it, which means there's absolutely no way to avoid the KikiSoCheeky ult smacking you after.
Cool. I wonder if Envy's actually scouted that because Team Dignitas and EU were the ones that started running that, the Sylvanus and the Cuckoo lineup. But it's going to be Thor locked in there for Weekend alongside, there's the Sylvanus call. Now the question is, does Igor know what's about to happen and will they ban the KikiSoCheeky?
I'm pretty sure they'll ban the KikiSoCheeky here. I'm actually interested to see, are they going to play the Xing 10 as a support or a solo lane? I think if they're going to play it as a solo laner, you might see the Sobek pick up here.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or they could pick up a mid, then ban out allies.
Oh, the Sobek. Look at this, you're a genius.
Yeah, well, the Sobek...
It's like you own the team.
The Sobek's actually really strong against Sylvanus. A little at level 3, Sobek hits a power spike where him and Chiron can clear the archers with a tail whip and sickening strike combination.
Okay, cool.
And then look to pluck the Sylvanus and just all in him.
Well, let's see if they'll be able to do that. Now the question is, will Igor ban KikiSoCheeky or will they take it themselves potentially here?
That could be a possibility. I'm not too sure how much practice Sambam has had on the KikiSoCheeky. I haven't really seen him play it, but there goes the target.
There's the respect ban to Allied right there. Not wanting to deal with that KikiSoCheeky, but don't worry, KikiSoCheeky's got a lot more up his sleeve. I know some more of his favorite guys that he is looking towards, and I can't wait for him to break it out.
I'm expecting like Poseidon probably is one of those up there as well as the next go-to. But it's back to Igor now that Jean-Qui gets taken off the table. Igor have the option.
Yeah, I actually really like the Poseidon pick into what Igor has because Xing 10 cannot leap out of Poseidon. Neither can Sobek, neither can Chiron. So we'll see what he does.
It's going to be a Neith with the backflip. That could be going mid lane or could Chiron here. So you're going double Hunter. Ooh.
I like it. They're taking a page out of C9's book there, and hopefully it works out.
Did C9 win?
Incon!
Wow, Incon. I wouldn't even go there.
Too soon.
Ouch.
Sorry. Too soon.
The double Hunter, man.
You can't do that.
It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite.
Janus going to get like
There's the Janus pick. That's what I was looking for. Allied, of course, used to yell at Kiki all the time. Can you just play Janus? Kiki's like, no, man, I'm going to play Afro, man. I want to kiss.
He's not female, is he? That's why he did.
Yeah, exactly.
Big key there.
Yeah, but the one thing I like, though, from Igor's draft this time around is they pick at least a dominant mid laner, a dominant duo lane.
That's 3 Guardians and 2 Hunters.
Sounds good to me. Guardians are really strong in this game. Their scaling is through the roof compared to anyone.
Cabrakan hasn't won yet, though, right?
Yeah,
First time for everything. Okay, Matt Corey's Cabrakan is legit. It's really strong. I've seen him play it. Probably the best Cabrakan player on Xbox.
To be fair, we saw his Odin. His Odin was very, very good. So with his Odin played that well, it's the same sort of play style you have with a Cabrakan as well. You will use the blink to try and close the gap, but then you're all melee range anyway.
Yeah, I mean, one of the strengths of Cabrakan, though, against the Janus is kind of how we saw Rathor do with his Ymir. The walls block off the portal for the Janus, and Cabrakan's ult. He can trap the Janus inside tight and then try to pick him off.
Not to mention, it actually does work well against a Xbalanque, of course, who has the dash, who will not jump over that wall, so he can get trapped in there. So you can trap in multiple people on the team Envyus right now.
How are you feeling about your lineup?
I'm loving the lineup. It's absolutely PC, which is great.
3 Guardians.
I'm loving
and 2
it, too.
Hunters.
It's absolutely Xbox, and it's great.
That's kind of like your Zapman build as well, isn't it? It's like your lineup would be like 4 Guardians and you.
Yeah, I mean, just, protect Cougar and he'll
Protect me, please. I'll do anything.
Incon's always on me.
Wow. Still going at it. So you both think your team's going to win this one. Composition-wise, what are we expecting in the solo lane matchup?
That solo lane matchup is going to be very interesting. I mean, it comes down to, it's the solo lane, it's the tanks, right? That's what we do. Yep. We do the tanky matchup, so it's going to come down to, I think, honestly, Omega's more experience.
Yeah, and I mean, I expect an invade. I think it's how Eager is going to handle this invade, because knowing Omega and Weekend being Bellona and Thor, they're definitely going to invade.
There is a creeping curse coming out here.
So let's talk about fights there, isn't it? Going for the creeping curse, you're potentially looking for a fight early on. Cabrakan actually going to go over there for Eager and put a deep ward in to see if they're near the speed or blue buff, and already Envy rotating around the map looking for, well, kind of what they did last game, Zap.
Yeah, I mean, why not do it again? It worked the first time. Envy grouped up as 5. They didn't find anyone in this early invade, but I expect the Thor and Bellona to invade.
I expect it too. I mean, when you look at what the composition is here that they're going to be able to invade on Incon, it's going to be a Cabrakan and actually a Neith.
It doesn't seem there's going to be an invade, otherwise Weekend would have been out of the base by now. I actually did expect one to come along there with that creeping curse on Omega, because you cannot fight a Bellona Thor, especially if they have a creeping curse. But it seems that we're just going to be chilling out here doing a normal start.
We say that, but Sambam, the Neith player, is actually, he's the mid laner. He's over here to defend the speed buff. He's going to start with the boys on this side. This is a good way to defend these buff invaders up.
Yeah, smart play. I mean, they got to expect. It looks like actually Emery's going to do the blue to blue invade.
So blue and then go blue, but it looks like at the same time both teams are recognizing this. There's wards for both of them, so they both know what's going on with this start of the game. Left-hand side, you can clearly see that, you know, the standard setup from Envy going on as the Eager team. They did mid-Harpies.
Yeah, Eager started mid-Harpies there, which is a very interesting start. Not standard at all. Probably mixing that up, honestly, because of the strange start over as well, the solo lane. They're actually going to grab both of the mid-Harpies, which is actually a huge swing of XP already for Eager, assuming they still get their camps.
Yeah, now it's up to Envy to realize that this happened and look to invade the speed or red.
Well, perfectly, you can just see Allied found out. He auto-attacked, thinking it was going to be there. It was down, so they know exactly what's going on here. Purple buff is on the side of Eager here as well, so that's not going to be able to be invaded. So red speed still stand for Eager, and Envy still have their speed up.
Both junglers have sacrificed their speed buffs at the start of this game in order to do other things. When's the last time you saw that?
Talk to me about Weekend and like when he doesn't get his speed buff. Well, how is he like?
Oh, it's just like any jungler. All junglers go, I gotta get my speed buff. I don't get my speed buff, I'm leaving the team. Hear me out.
Well, it looks like the speed buff is going to be got here by Envy, but it's actually Eager speed buff. They've invaded onto this. Omega has pressured the Xing 10 in that lane. Dwurst, once again, obviously the start of the game there, Bellona has a pretty good matchup there against the Xing 10.
Yeah, again, good plays by Envy here. They know which side they're stronger on. They know that the Bellona is going to outpush the Xing 10, so they know that speed buff is going to be a free invade for them.
So Dwurst ruining out Omega there, putting some good damage on, and those archers did some good work too. Good trade there for the boy for the time being. So we see the left-hand side, we see McCoy's heading through the jungle towards the left-hand side, mainly for the red buff to help out the Neith.
And we see Envy here out pushing them, even with the Xbalanque, and that's just because of the Sylvanus. You see they gave the Sylvanus the purple buff. That's because of Sylvanus' innate AoE auto attacks, which gives them incredible push, but at least they don't push back anymore like you used to.
Yeah, I'd really like to see Jelly go up there, try to clear those archers right here with the combo, just like that. And
you called it.
Actually, Envy realized that Sylvanus played back like he was supposed to.
Are you like connected into their comms or something here? Because every time you said something, they've done it. It's quite impressive. Just gonna keep saying it.
It's a very scary lane, though. If you get out of position just a little bit, you can get Sobek plucked and then Chiron kicked even farther back down the lane. You're gonna get kicked halfway down the lane.
Good point. It's gonna be a big key there to make sure that we see Kiki stay safe. But Kiki's pretty good for that for the most part. He's doing a good job of surviving for now, as it's still 0-0 at 2.5 minutes in. Omega continue to whack away on these minions here, and then Dwurst, well, he's a little bit low on mana here at the moment, so he's gonna be very, very careful. Just gonna get pushed on the tower here.
Yeah, Dwurst has to be extra careful, not just because he's out of mana, but also because there's a Janus on the other team. So if he actually pushes a little bit far up, Omega can engage on him, and he can call for the Janus ult.
And of course, he doesn't even know where the Thor is as well. Thor not level 5, yeah, but it doesn't matter. If you get Thor walled with no mana, he wouldn't have enough to jump over the wall.
And that's a scary thing. You've got Janus' ultimate, you've also got Weaken on that Thor, and then you've still got Xbalanque played by CycloneSpin today that can get involved with the Darkest of Nights once he hits that level 5. But Koi's round on the left-hand side to try and support his team. They may look for a pick here, but they did just hit 5 Envy. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult to find it, and it looks like Eager were aware of that and just back out.
Yeah, they were aware of it. Actually, Emery was aware of it, and they did back out. I would have liked to see Jelly maybe have a bit more of an aggressive posture there and put a little pressure. Maybe look for the hook on the Sylvanus.
Yeah, that could have been super, super bad right there for Envy. If that Cabrakan would have gotten his wall off on Xbalanque, as the Xbalanque would have dashed, he would have had nowhere to go, and he would have been an easy pickup.
Poor Dwurst not going to get his blue buff again. 3 members of Envy come all the way over the map, including Allied, to secure that one. But the rotation back to mid might be picked up here, as the mid Harpies are there and being taken by Team Eager. It looks like they did go over to them, but looks like Koi's wants to try and fight here. But a quick wall from Weaken, and they'll be able to disengage. Oh, Allied. I don't think they realized that. If Eagle would have realized that was Allied that got isolated there, they could have tried and forced the other on that one.
Weekend goes, yeah, that portal's mine now.
You just stole it.
Stole that portal.
Yeah, and one thing to note is actually the mid and jungle of Eager is farming a little bit better than Allied and Weekend. It seems like Allied and Weekend are looking a little bit too much for rotations to make plays, and they're falling a little bit behind.
It probably has a bit as well to do with that mid Harpy start where they didn't get that XP. While they did go around and they got the blue buff, the mid Harpies give so much experience and gold early.
Well, left-hand side purple buff being done there by Team Eager as we see Envy recalling back to base there in their duo lane. No wards on the map on either side at the moment, so I think that's where we're going to start seeing the first trips back to base now, just to start the vision around the Gold Fury.
Definitely a slower paced game right now. Both teams kind of just taking it chill, looking towards that mid team fight right now. They want to kind of wait for the group up. Of course, the teams have Bellona and Xing as a solo laners, which means they both want to be waiting for their solo laners to turn on because they're both very confident.
I was going to say, the longer this game goes, I'm really happy to be Team Eager here, honestly, because 3 Guardians, Zap, once 3 Guardians hit full build.
I agree, yeah. I mean, Team Eager has the better scaling team because they have the Guardians, and also they have double Hunters. So the later this game goes, the more trouble Envy's going to be in.
They've got to be very careful, though, because if one of the Hunters does get picked off, with the sustain that's going to come from the Sylvanus, the Guardians might not be able to output the damage to burst the sustain.
So question is, which Hunter will we looking to gank here, Incon? Is it going to be the Neith or is it the Chiron?
Early game, you're probably looking towards the Neith because she's going to have more of that burst damage, but as the game starts to transition, get a little bit later, the Chiron's going to be more of the threat.
Well, we can try and take the speed buff there, but this time round, rotations from Eager secure their own speed buff to get that for themselves. We'll give Kolz a little bit of boost for being able to get around this map and look for something.
Yeah, definitely. Now that Matt Kolz has his speed buff on Cabrakan, he can really look to start making some plays.
Pressure in mid lane once again from Envy, just continuing to farm up their Hunters. Nabbing off the lone right-hand side aggression onto Omega here, as round the back comes Kolz, looking for this aggression with a speed buff. They get some good damage off, it's a good wall, but once again Omega held his ultimate until he needed it to escape the danger.
Very smart play there from Omega, waiting to use that ultimate, as you said, for the Cabrakan wall. If he would have used it too early, Cabrakan may have been able to catch up, wall him off, and then kill Omega, but very patient, and he's already healing up because of Death Stall.
Yeah, I really wish Matt Kolz would focus a little bit more on the duo lane because, I mean, when you think about it, Xing 10, level 8, Cabrakan level 7 would not have enough damage.
Darkest and Nice has just been used because the Gold Fury was being attempted there, and actually he's forced Allied's ultimate out. The Gold Fury still stands. Eager were the ones looking to attempt that one on that left-hand side instead. They're going to look for Harpies, but blinking from Kolz, putting aggression on Allied. He doesn't have any follow-up, but the World Weaver's there to follow up. He's going to Tremors, but a good ultimate from Kiki in a root. He's going to pin them in place. The Unstable Vortex into the Weekend, lands an ultimate, and secures a kill onto Jelly through Allied. Kolz bravely running away, but Weekend's having none of it. He's going to continue chasing him down, looking for the pick, but round the corner comes Cyclone on Xbalanque, and there's a stack in the bank for the boys of Envy.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem. You know, Matt Kolz made the decision to gank the Bellona, used his ultimate, and then he blinked into the Janus. If he would have had his ultimate there for the Janus, probably could have went in the favor of Eager.
Also really good there for Envy was Cyclone already got a stack on Xbalanque here pretty early. They waited to give him the kill with his dash so we could start getting that power going, which may give him a bit of an advantage going into that Chiron because that's not a favorable lane for him in the early game.
I mean, play-wise there, Incon, it looked like, I want to look at the support player here. Kiki did, I was going to say Incon because it was like it's Envy. Kiki did great work there. He got a big ultimate off to save Allied from some danger.
Kiki is a huge proponent of Sylvanus. He loves that. He thinks his ultimate is honestly the best in the game, and it really is as far as supports go. It's a super hard form of CC that does a ridiculous amount of damage early. Its base damage is like 300, and if you were talking to Ataraxia, you'd say, yeah, and the scaling's like 175%.
Yeah, it's also sneaky damage. You know, when you die and you check your death recap, it says 10 million damage from Sylvanus on, and you're like, what? When did that happen?
On top of that, it is a knock-up, and knock-up is one of the hardest things to try and CC out of. I mean, beads don't affect it once you're in the air. You have to pre-do it.
Exactly, and because you can combo it so well, he had the knock-up into the root. They didn't have their BJ, which led to the unstable Vortex hitting both of them into a Thor. It was a beautiful combination of skills coming out from Envy, and a really beautiful combination of crowd control as well.
Well, Envy grouping up in mid lane there. Wall double tap hitting onto Sambam there, but he will heal up a little bit off the minions with the Unravel there. The pull did not connect from Kiki. How you feeling, Encon?
I'm feeling pretty good, and seeing Weekend hit double taps on Thor makes my heart sputter. It feels so good.
Yeah, you sat there thinking, why can't you do that on PC?
If he could just transfer that to PC, man, we'd never lose again.
Next season. And Zap, you boys, honestly, you're not that far down now. It's only 2,500 experience, 1,300 gold. But the longer the game goes, the happier you get. And Xbox generally goes later.
Yeah, Xbox does generally go into the late game. And, you know, Envy's up, but they're not up by that much. If they find a good Cabrakan ult, they can easily win a team fight.
Look at this, player damage on the side of all the boys here. Chiron very, very low down there. Not seeing much out of Aircougar so far. Kolz hasn't managed to get himself really involved over in that dual lane, but in the mid lane there, Sambam being aggressed on once again by Weekend's Gold Fury. He started here by Cyclone. Is this a good call in, Con?
Yeah, right now this is pretty safe. Envy's feeling pretty confident with the team comp right now as the team fight's about to break out.
Yeah, Omega has actually been doing zoning duty. Forced Jelly to use the ultimate as well. Omega still happy just to absorb that. Didn't even do that much damage as he actually turns it around. Weekend misses an ult there, as you can see as well. Dwurst gets out, but Kolz is caught in a bad situation. He gets his ultimate off in time, but Kiki's going to get credit for that kill. Dwurst doesn't manage to find his ultimate through space and time, fired off by Allied. Looking for the snipe damage on Sambam. He doesn't find it, but Omega surely will. Jelly's there to try and defend, but it's too little too late already. And Omega and the rest of Envy going to retreat back towards the Gold Fury.
This is where Sylvanus is so strong, is these objectives where you get pickoffs. They're going to group up, they're going to use that heal. You can see the heal coming out. That heal early is so incredibly strong when you're low on your total health pool.
Still looking to try and contest this. Kiki held his ultimate and used it nicely there. They're engaging, looking for Jelly, and they're going to find him. The pluck ended up hitting somebody, unfortunately, and now Dwurst and Cougar trying to survive and do what they can. Cougar actually chasing down Allied and finding the kill. Will Weaver coming out onto CycloneSpin. Hold up a second, this could be a turnaround, but no, the body block from Kiki is good. And you can see Dwurst has to back out the blinking from Kolz. Too little, too late, and a good wall from Weekend. Gonna force to disengage. Eager though, they defended the Gold Fury.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing here. They did sacrifice a little bit more kills, but they did defend the Gold Fury and stop the snowball event.
Envy's got to be very careful here. Because they were low, they're definitely going to go for the Gold Fury, but because the Sylvanus healed, not everybody had to back, and it seems that the Gold Fury is getting reset. Eager probably should be looking for this gold right now. Honestly, with how low Envy was and how their abilities were down, that should have been an attempt.
A little bit wary of the teams. I mean, you say abilities are down, but because Omega has his ultimate available, Cyclones is back up as his allies there. That fight went just on so long that I think we're going to see people go back to farm now.
Yeah, I mean, Eager needs to make just a small adjustment to do a lot better in these team fights, and they need to stop getting separated. They keep getting picked off one by one because they split during these team fights.
One thing we didn't mention earlier was this is Bellona against two ADCs. Bellona has their big form of damage, and Eager right now can be completely disarmed.
Currently a Bellona that's only got Stone of Gaia.
That's true, but you have the Stone of Gaia to deal with the 3 Guardians damage, and then you disarm the 2 Hunters. You don't need physical defense if they can't auto-attack.
So talk to me about disarm, Zap, and how'd you like it?
Oh, I hate it. It's the most annoying thing. You know, you don't even know what happened to you. A scourge from across, like, over the wall, and you're like, I'm hitting my mouse, and nothing happens.
My mouse broke. Help.
5-1 is the scoreline. Envy hold the lead for now. The gold lead, as you can see, just under 2,000. It's slowly climbing, but at the moment, Eager have slowed the sort of destruction they saw in the first game of how painful it was for them. This picks and bans has worked out a lot better for them. Yeah,
Eager's doing a great job of not letting Envy snowball off their early game picks. And now I realize why Omega went Bellona over the Xing 10 is because they want to keep on that pressure on the solo lane, which is what won them the first game.
Once we get towards this first Gold Fury is where this game was either going to break open for Envy or be completely even again for Eager. So every team kind of hovering around that area because you don't want to give up the ward control.
Gold Fury is still available. You can see the wards, and we can telegraph that there's a ward around that left-hand side there near the Harpies, just because he threw down that wall that missed Jelly. Weekend is looking for a potential pick here onto Aircougar, though. They're looking for Cougar on that Chiron. Just see Xbalanque coming around. He's not realized it. He will now. The wall misses, and Cougar bravely runs away.
Yeah, I mean, if the wall was on point, it's actually really strong against Chiron. Chiron only has the dash to escape.
So he's just going to block him. Oh, look at that. They didn't manage to find the pole, but they do find the portal, and Jelly takes a bit of burst damage from the unstable vortexes. Omega now rotated again. Whenever I see Omega rotate here, it looks like we're going to call Gold Fury, right?
Yep, and there's the Gold Fury start. That was really big, though. Neith beads now are down for this team fight, which means she can get CC locked until she's dead. And this Gold Fury is going down really fast.
It is getting bursted down. Kiki on zoning duty. Kolz trying to get in there to defend. Kiki's ultimate is now on cooldown. He just used it to knock Kolz up. Jelly is trying to get away there. You can see Allied fire off the ultimate, didn't manage to find it, as Chiron uses ultimate there too, and I don't believe he managed to find a pick with that one either.
Yeah, Thor ultied onto the Chiron, but it doesn't look like anything came of it, and everybody's going to start up the Gold Fury again.
Here we go, one more time. Let's go in and see exactly what's going to happen. Only Omega has his ultimate available here. Eager, they've managed to hold on to most of theirs here, which is the big key factor for this one. Omega on zoning duty with Kiki, as you'd expect to see here. And we're going to actually see what's going on. Let's go into MV Comms and hear those guys and exactly how they're going to try and play this one out.
Okay.
I'm down.
We're still here.
We can't get behind.
Yeah, midless. I'm low on mana too.
I still have a kill.
I can portal.
Careful.
I'd beat this.
Okay.
Everyone
Here's
get
a kill.
out. Everyone get out.
I'm dead.
Everyone get out. Alright, I'm gonna go back to right.
They come back and also that.
They're gonna get gold.
How did Weekend die?
They both were on me on left. I don't know where you guys went.
I didn't hear you say anything.
Yeah, we're all gold. I'm gonna push right.
I don't have
all good,
gold.
that's
I
all good.
know.
Doesn't
Just
matter.
no.
He's gonna miss a lot. He's gonna miss a lot for this anyway.
Skip ups. Oh, they
I'll
can't
just
do
keep
gold,
him on
right?
me.
I have a sentry.
No, they're doing it.
Oh, okay.
Cabrakan's on me. Just back here.
Yeah, you're fine.
Go to
Yeah,
purple.
let's
try to
try
get
to-
purple,
let's
yeah.
not play
If you can't hear that in the background, listen to that crowd cheering. Eager has some fans in Zap, and you must be so happy right now.
Yeah, definitely happy. And I believe Allied asked the question of 2015, how did Weekend die?
That was honestly, it wasn't that bad. There was a couple miscommunications there at the start. That was really Envyus' fight. We saw Kiki use his ultimate, only hit one person. We saw Weekend got a little bit separated from the group. There wasn't quite the communication level that they needed. Although, over toward the sideline, we do have Omega split pushing that time.
I'll be honest as well, we mentioned Aircougar had no player damage earlier on. He's now 3-0-0, and he's top of the charts. The boy just came out of nowhere then.
Yeah, I mean, Cougar's been playing great both games, and I'm really looking towards him to carry this one.
Looks like he's in a good position to do it. I mean, with 3 Guardians in front of him, and with a mentor like you, I mean, that should be good, right?
If he really listened to me, he'd be dead. Like, he'd be 5-0 or something like that.
Once Omega gets some more physical defense items online, he's going to be able to go ahead and walk at Chiron just like he did the Zeus, and we can see him starting into that physical defense. Most likely going to be the mid-guardian male, which is honestly one of the best items in the game.
I mean, to be fair, if Bellona goes in on an AD carry, yes, she's going to have a good time, but if there's 2 AD carries sat next to each other, and one's a Neith and one's a Chiron, how the hell do you deal with both of them at the same time?
It's going to be incredibly annoying, but he won't even have a hard time sticking on him. He can go ahead and shield bash them for the slow, and then use the creeping curse for even more slows, not to mention you got the disarm. He's going to be totally fine when it's just this Guardian Male. Plus, if you want to attack him, then you get slowed again from the mid-Guardian.
Exactly, and on top of that, what's important for Eager to do is make sure their hunters are on different sides of the lane. You need one on the left side, one on the right side, so both of them are not getting zoned out.
See, I always thought they should stick together as like a pair to an extent, but not super close up just because Neith can use the roots, right?
At least like
pin him and
auto
keep it
attack
off.
range distance.
Okay, just between the two of them.
Yeah, if you stand
Max
too close
range.
together, if you both get disarmed at the same time, you really do not want to have to beat the disarm in a fight. But sometimes you have to because you can't just not do damage for 3 seconds.
Well, this game's pretty much all evened up for the most time in terms of gold. Experience-wise, there is still a bit of a lead for Envy at the moment, as you can see on the charts there, 2,800. I'm going to say it's mainly on Omega without checking the stats. What a shock it is.
Omega is proxy farming waves at the tier 2. That's how confident he is right now, and rightfully so. He's got 3 levels in the opposing solo.
And I like what he's trying to do here as well. He pressures with the proxy farm here up and then tries to rotate to the fights. Teleport, though, is available for Dwurst to come to this, and he's not really losing out on much.
Yeah, I mean, Omega's pretty much playing perfectly. He's playing his roles perfectly. He has the lead. He's throwing his weight around again. He's proxying waves, looking to rotate, looking to force something to happen here. But Eager's doing a good job of staying grouped and not getting picked.
Well, left harpy's got pulled and reset there. Ally didn't manage to find the damage with Unstable Vortex, so Eager may be able to take those ones away, but Omega, he doesn't want to give him up for free if he can help it. Going to throw out the disarm and do what he can there. As you can see, Koi's around the left-hand side as well, trying to position. What is this fight about, Incon?
Right now, it's just kind of a matter of trying to get little pickoffs. You don't necessarily want to do anything crazy right now. If I was them, I would be waiting.
Talking about pickoff, they're looking for CycloneSpin, who's already used his ultimate to get out, but into the ring he goes. But a great stun. The Koi's didn't manage to stop in time.
Yeah, CycloneSpin, he used his ultimate there. Mad Koi's couldn't
Good
stop in
beat
time.
response, though, coming out from Koi's. He's tanky enough to hold up the front line for the time being there as reinforcements have arrived. Cyclone tried to do what he can. Allied has to disengage from the battle there as Sobek pushes forward with Jelly and Koi's in tow. The pluck is on Cyclone. Cyclone getting into the whirlwind washing machine of death, and he'll fall down to Jelly. Eager pushing on the left-hand side here. We've got a ball game, sir.
Yeah, great pluck by Jelly there. He waited for Xbalanque to use his dash and got the pick.
Bit quiet, Income.
No, meanwhile, we have Omega split pushing the right lane right now. You can see he equally got that tier 1 tower down. The reason why they lost that team fight was because they didn't have all 5 members.
Yeah, I mean, but the problem with that is Omega was already ahead.
Okay.
And the fact that he keeps on getting ahead, it's only one member of the team, whereas Eager as a group, they're getting 5 assists or 4 assists plus
Oh,
towers
this fight
and
could
experience
rage on here.
together.
The Paul, he did fall through Koi's there. Stable Vortex came out, but Allied, not enough damage just yet. Trying to teleport in there was Omega, but it got cancelled out at the last second. Kiki is going to go down to Dwurst as well. The group of Eager is good, and the fans are happy about
Yeah,
this.
it looks like Eager's communication is on point right now. You saw the knockup by the Xing 10, followed up by the perfect Neith route by Sam there.
Yeah, Root's not having any DR means Kiki could not move anywhere than Sylvanus. He was trying to make it towards the portal, which was so close to him, but he never got an opportunity to move an inch.
Yeah, and this is the high risk, high reward of Sylvanus, right? Sylvanus can make a lot of great plays with his pull. He could pull through the wall, but the problem is he has no escapability.
Mobility,
So
always been an
he
issue.
usually get picked on team fights.
Right, Hop, he's going to go the way of Eager as we tune in with Omega, continuing to farm up the highest level in the game, as you'd expect, because he's been continuing to farm. That's all where the experience is, that's it.
Yeah, a big deal right now is that Omega doesn't have the tier 3 teleport. We're seeing why he's not rotating to the fights is because he can't teleport to those wards, while we have Dwurst on the side of Eager who can get over there every single time.
So as we see it now, we can going to take the blue buff over on the right-hand side, give it over to Omega one more time here. Gold Fury is back up, though, and warded up by Eager. Would you look to want Eager to actually start looking at the Gold Fury now?
Yeah, I mean, they have the Sentry Ward on. They see that Envy doesn't have any wards on it. They may try to sneak it, but the speed buff is up for them, and you know how junglers love their speed.
Oh, double portal from Allied does connect and forcing the beads and backflip out of Sambam in the mid lane. And Omega's having some of that, he says. Eagles rally on his face, putting the pressure on, putting on Revel and Jelly doing his homework and doing his job of peeling for his AD carry.
You know, actually, it was a little bit beneficial that Sambam got stunned by Xbalanque because that DR'd him, and the Bellona ult didn't really stun him for anything. He stunned him for like 0.2 seconds.
Well, with that happening now, we're going to see a Gold Fury attempt coming out from the boys here. Cyclone's ult is down, as is Jelly's and Omega, so it's an opportunity for Eager to try and get in a position here. Taking a little bit longer, this Incon.
I still like the fight opportunity. A great pull there on Sobek, but Janus just quite missing the unstable vortex.
No real follow-up here. You can see actually at the backside, Neith out of mana here as well. No, doesn't have anything. Sambam may have to recall back to base, but he wants to stay in the fight. Such a tough position for a mana-heavy god.
Yeah, I mean, Sam should try to sneak the back in here, but got spotted out by Sylvanus.
Comes through, doesn't actually connect with anyone, and it's actually Envy. They've got themselves in the position here still, but they've used a few ultimates here. Can they still hold this off?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Janus doesn't really have much mana, they should be able to hold this off 4v5, and I'm pretty sure that Envy hasn't seen Sam back yet.
Gold Fury gets reset, though. Kiki got a nice pull and root off onto Jelly, but Jelly's not too worried about that one. They're still looking to fight this.
Yeah, the longer this fight goes, though, the better it is for Ear, because Sambam's coming in fresh, full HP, full mana, and he's done with his Echo Ball.
You actually see the back coming out there potentially from, who was that? It looks like, yeah, it was Janus going back to base. Allied has gone back to base to continue buying items and mana. He'll be able to get back relatively quick here, though. But this fight's just going on forever, Incon.
We can see another physical defense item coming out from Omega. You know that he knows that Chiron is the problem right now, so he's going to continue to build that physical defense until he can walk at Chiron, and Chiron's healing him with his auto.
So what are we looking at from him? I was going to say, what are we looking at? Heavy hammer, frostbound hammer?
Yeah, frostbound. Frostbound for sure. It's a really good item against auto attackers. Gives you what, 600 HP. It's a great item.
It's because people forget about frostbound hammer. It does an attack speed debuff as well.
Yeah, exactly. It slows, I think, by 25% it is.
Yeah.
It's extremely potent against hunters.
Beads coming back up on the side of Eager. We only have Sambam's beads down for now, and those are going to be tier 3 when they come back up. On the other side of Envy, we have all the actives up as well, so pretty much everybody's looking for the fight now. Everybody's feeling comfortable.
Paul misses from Allied there as they were trying to clear out a ward. We're Eager inside the Gold Fury pit as per usual. On the right-hand side, Dwurst is back to farming over there, trying to put some pressure on. Has the teleport, so he can still make the rotations over. Looks like he's going for ethereal staff, pretty much standard.
Yeah, and a really impressive job by Dwurst for staying in this game. He's only 400 gold behind Omega, which is basically nothing.
That's true, considering the Gold Fury situation as well. It's not been too bad for him. And on top of that, he's not actually died this game either. He got focused a lot last game, he got invaded again, but you know, he's done okay to stay in this game.
For all intents and purposes, this game is completely even going into the 22-minute mark, and this is the part of Smite that we talk about. This is where it all happens. This is that moment where you get the next team fight can mean who wins and loses the game.
And if it goes even, you're going to just go back to farming, and it's the next team fight after that one. But Allied took a lot of poke pressure there from the mid lane from Sambam. Got a good root off into the weave that was on the ground there to detonate. So Allied going to just retreat back and continue farming up for now. Level 15, has his spear on the Chronos pendant, the blue build coming out from him for the time being. Would you like to see your team, you know, the more defensive ones here in Con, actually get some defensive, physical defense items?
Yeah, I mean, the physical defense items are good, but at the same time, there's so much potential just to burst down the hunters. If you can just burst down the hunters, then the damage is completely gone. We see that the majority of the damage coming out from Chiron, of course, the Xing in the Neith. The Cabrakan and the Sobek, of course, are non-factors in this, which means the majority of the damage is physical, and then percentage damage from the Xing, which you can't do anything about.
Allied still hovering around, looking for an opportunity for the Gold Fury. The ward's going to get cleared there in the Gold Fury pit once again. That's where the fight is going to be all about. Player damage, as you can see on the left-hand side, is all on Aircougar. 9,000 for him, ahead of Omega by about 1,500. Quite behind that, you can see Dwurst still keeping up with his Xing. Right at the bottom, Kiki. Quite surprising to see that so low there in con, because it is a Sylvanus.
Yeah, so I mean, really love the stuff coming out from Kiki here. We have the shell, plus the heal, of course, which gives extra protections. Kiki really loves to play those guys that give you a ton of protections, like the Kepri gives you protection reduction, and of course the Sylvanus gives you flat protections.
Yeah, exactly. The Sylvanus is doing a great job this game, keeping everyone on his team with full HP.
5-5 is the scoreline, still as the Golf Fury. Well, it's just a dance. This reminds me of EU all of a sudden on PC.
Yeah, this is actually EU on PC. This is a very passive game. At the same point, this is either the make it or break it game for both teams. Envy right here, take it away. They move on to the finals of the Xbox World Championship. Eager, this could be their final fight.
And Eager, they've got themselves in a great position. Honestly, I'd really personally side with the side of Eager just because of composition-wise. 3 Guardians, 2 Hunters. We've seen it so many times when that lineup has been put together. They've managed to perform, and on Xbox, I expect it to be the same.
Exactly. Positioning is so key here by both teams. That's why you see everyone a little bit hesitant on trying to make plays. Sylvanus has his pool, Sobek has his pool, so if anyone gets caught out of position, they could lose the game.
Let's see exactly what's going to happen. Is once again Jelly going to be clearing out the wards one more time. These poor supports are just constantly throwing gold away.
Now that we have the Frostbound Hammer done on Omega, I wouldn't mind seeing the Enfeebling Curse coming out. You don't really need a weakening against the opposing team. It wouldn't be bad for against the Hunters, but you don't need it. The Enfeebling Curse could really put a dent in their damage.
Okay, well, on the right-hand side there, Omega looking to try and contest this right-hand side blue buff being done up against Dwurst and Kolz, who, let's be honest, they had a bit of a hard time keeping him pinned down in place. That gold blue buff did fall down. It did go over to Dwurst, but still, Omega keeping the fight going, knowing that there's 2 there, though. Envy have tried to start the Golf Fury on this side. I'm not sure how low it is. Jelly well aware of it going on, and with Dwurst going back to base, I guess they're just going to reset it. We may see a bit of an engagement in mid lane, though, with Omega rotating in. But no, there's not much going on. Just Omega be doing Omega things.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are just not giving an inch. They're really playing safe. They're getting their own buffs. They're protecting their own buffs. And it's going to be really tough for either team to break this open.
We can rotate around to throw down a ward, get spotted out, and instantly cleared. So they still know there's a sentry in that area for the time being. Xbalanque just gone back to base. Did Cyclone there. Actually working towards Hasten Fatalis, it looks like.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good on Xbalanque.
Okay.
You do sacrifice a lot of damage, but you do make up for it because of branching bolas plus Xbalanque's passive.
Not to mention, it makes him extra hard to catch. The big thing about Xbalanque is he has so much damage that he gets from his passive, plus the branching bolas, that you don't actually need the extra damage out of him, the extra movement speed and attack speed to help you get out more damage output.
So impressed with the Eager composition here. They are Xbox focused as a team, and the boys of Envy, obviously, they've had plenty of experience in big stages like this, but so far, they've held their nerve in this game, keeping it at 5-5. You can see active-wise as well, it's just those small little details. You can see both the Hunters, the same sort of thing, idea, both going just for beads too, not investing too much in it if they can help it at the moment. But crit is now coming online for your boy Chiron, Zap.
Yeah, I mean, this might be what Eager's been waiting for. Cougar's probably telling them, I'm almost done with my rage. Let me finish my rage, and then let's look to team fight.
Trying to defend the sentry ward. He's going to give poke to both the supports. Generally, it's Jelly that came out on the losing end of that one. As you can see, Kiki able to just heal himself up back with the wisps. Koi's in position, though, as the sentry gets dropped down. We do have a rotation from Dwurst here, but Omega still over in that solo lane, looking to pressure the tier 2 one more time.
This is the face-off of all time. Just both teams, it's just the battle of the wards. Although we do see Eager starting up this Gold Fury in the back, and they're keeping it for now.
Can they get involved with Envy? Yeah, Kiki goes in with a big ultimate. Xbalanque coming in and weakened with the ult too. They're looking for Jelly. Jelly pinned against the wall though, through space and time, connecting with them at the same time. But the washing machine from Dwurst is good to try and trap them all up. But Envy do get out for the time being, and it's actually Koi's in a bit of trouble here with the Berserker Barrage of the Eagles rally. Connected from Omega. He secures one. Now they're looking for the next with the pull from Allied. Gonna help to Dwurst. The front line is falling. It's only Hunters left, and they're gonna start getting run down like dogs. No, they retreat back for the Gold Fury.
If I'm Omega right now, I'm making sure to zone out perfect. He's zoning out the people that can come in and steal this Gold Fury to guarantee that gold for him. Not to mention, he's the perfect person to be fighting these Hunters that are still alive.
What exactly went wrong in that team
fight? I mean, that whole team fight, you got to give credit to Kiki. He landed a 3-man ultimate, 4 speeds on both Hunters, or one of the Hunters, and then Weekend had a great follow-up ult.
Weekend had a great follow-up ult. How do you feel about that?
It feels good, man. I'm telling you, one of these days, it's going to transfer over to PC. We're going to hit these ults.
Wall double tapping mid lane, connects, forcing the back with part of Sambam. Omega didn't find the bludgeon there, but left-hand side Cyclone, Allied, and Kiki pushing down for the tier 1, looking for the tier 2. The minions are here.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about when the game was this close and it was, past 25-minute mark. One
fight.
mistake can cost you the game. Now Envy here is snowballing. Not only did they get the gold for you, but they got a tower too on the left side.
That left tier 2 tower extremely low now. They can pretty much go back at any point and finish that off. This is giving about a 3K gold lead or so. Not the end of the game by any means, but definitely the first substantial lead.
Look at that swing. You can see 6,000 just under experience in favor of Team Envy. Eager still struggling to stay in this one. They have the opportunity still. The longer this goes, you can see full itemizations online, and 3,000 gold at this stage isn't that much.
It's not much, but what they really need to do is they can't be engaged on. They need to be the ones to do the engagement. They have 3 Guardians. They have 3 ways to initiate. Xing can go in, Cabrakan could go in, or Sobek can pluck. So they really need to be careful, not group up for Sylvanus ult, and engage on their own.
I agree. That's the one of the most underrated things in Smite is the ability to initiate. You know, we always make fun of him Weekend for saying, you know, he's the initiator. But it's true. When you initiate on somebody, it puts them on the defensive immediately at the start of the fight. And when you're on the defensive, you're often playing to get away and not to kill people. And when you have 3 Guardians on your team, all with great capabilities of initiating like that.
Kiki initiate with a pull there. Weekend double tap comes out as well. The wall, the portal falls down. Kiki zoning out the other members of the team as they're looking to focus down Kolz in the back. Eagles rally connects from Omega. The wall, the double tap does not connect this time. Kolz isolated as Cyclone spins in. Weekend picks up 1, and now they're going to continue pressure in mid. 4v5 as Weekend finds the wall on the double tap again. Omega charging in, forcing the backflip out of Sambam. Omega still taking tower damage. The washing machine throws in, and Kiki under the tower one more time. Root on the backside as Aircougar does clean up Weekend, who overextends a little bit too far. So for the time being, it's a 1-for-1, but Envy still trying to keep pressure here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a classic example, exactly what me and Incon were talking about. Kiki engaged. Everyone in Eager had it back up. They weren't doing too much damage, and Cabrakan got picked there.
Still allied on the front, trying to poke, trying to find the unstable vortexes with CycloneSpin, looking for a pull at every opportunity. But just keep an eye on Jelly here. If he gets a good poke at the right time, with Sambam now coming back in on full health, they're going to have an opportunity to try and find a pick. But Omega disarms one more time. Jelly, tail whip, looking for the pull on Allied. It does connect. The root connects as well. Allied, though, through space and time, fight off to get him out of danger. And now back to the mid lane we go. And immediately with that, Envy disengaged.
That's a smart reset there. They knew once Allied was gone that they didn't have a chance. It was going to be a 3v4. So they just accepted that loss. They had a good attempt at a team fight earlier, but not all team fights go hugely in your favor. So just take the little win and go back.
You asked for Aircougar to step up here, Zam, and he really is.
I mean, he's doing great, and actually good discipline there by Envy to fall back. But I love what Eager did there. They initiated onto the Janus, forced him out, and they actually won that team fight.
31 minutes in now then, and Envy with that Gold Fury in tow. They've got themselves in a position. They didn't extend the lead any further, trying to pressure that tier 1 tower. Eager put up a good defense there for the time being. And final builds are starting to be achieved here. What are we looking for 6 items here, Incon?
Oh man, for 6 items you have so many options. We see the height of the minion line. We knew that Bellona was going to be going that full physical defense because we had the Chiron doing all the damage and the enfeebling curse. I bet Omega can hear me.
Well, he's also got the Death's Toll, so what would you sell and get in place of that?
That Death's Toll, I mean, at this point you can get another damage item. You can look for something. We saw the Equival actually earlier coming from the Bellonas, which is actually a great item against the Hunters to help take away some of their physical power.
Yeah, you might see the Equival, or you just might see another Fizz, a D item, maybe a Rune Forge, just anything that has physical defense.
We can hit more walls and double taps than all season, I think.
All season. It's absolutely incredible to watch. I'm so honored.
So honored to be this presence right now.
So honored.
And with the rest of the builds as well, let's have a little look at in. As we see another double tap here from Jelly, and the pull from Kiki as well. Kiki's on point with those pulls. They don't manage to continue the follow though, because Sambam gets a good route off to stop Weekend following in Allied with the unstable vortex. But look at this, Eager starting to collapse in mid lane here. They may try and turn this one around as they blink in. Kolz instantly beats from Weekend. He's looking for the hammer away, but the World Weaver does connect. But can they chase him down? Cougar wants to go in for the kill, but CycloneSpin pushes back Cougar, who uses the ultimate trying to find the snipe on the kill on Weekend. Not going to connect it. Cyclone disengages now. Omega on the front line, going to force back Eager one more time. Nobody dies.
Yeah, really good plays by Cougar there. He realized it was the, I used my escape, like whoops, and then he procced his ultimate before he could get CC'd and managed to get out of there.
Weekend needs to be just a little bit more careful. As much as he wants to initiate right now, he does have to let Kiki and particularly Omega do the initiating. Omega is not going to take any damage at all. And he's going into what seems to be Spirit Robe here as the last item, which is actually a great hybrid item, not to mention it gives you, of course, even more defensive percentage when you get that proc on it. So a really smart item to go here.
God Fury has respawned now in the sieging up Envy, trying to get themselves in a position. Kiki with those pulses available, gonna get Jelly again, root him down as well as Stable Vortex hits, but quite tanky is Jelly at this stage of the game at level 18. Thor though dugs in, Weaken looking for the pick onto Sobek, through space and time gets fired, they'll clean up the kill with Weaken. Allied though and the boys in a bit of a weird position here as the tumble drive from Dwurst comes out, throwing Omega away, but Cyclone finds a kill onto Sambam underneath the tier 1 tower. Dwurst is currently trying to do what he can to get out of the fight as Omega is just tanking up for days. That tower could basically be an Archer minion right now as Omega finds a kill onto Kolz. There's still pressure in on looking for more. Through space and time comes out, it gets Unstable Vortex comes out, they don't find the pick. Tier 1 tower falls and now minions for the tier 2.
Yeah, and there you can see the power of the Fatales on the Xbalanque. The Cabrakan had his speed buff activated or his speed boost activated in his one, but Xbalanque was able to keep up with him.
That was the fight that Envy needed. That was the perfect initiation, followed by Weaken going in after the effect as we see Xing 10 in a lot of trouble here. Can he jump away? No, he's going to get pulled back by Kiki.
Cyclone gets the kill as well because of that. The Phoenix is under threat here. There's nothing much Aircougar can do as he falls through the portal there. They may try and run him down for the kill. Through space and time gets fired. Doesn't connect. No, but Cyclone will find the kill. He'll pay with his life. No, the portal will save him. They'll retreat now, lick their wounds, and take the glory of the gold.
I would like to see them not back here, go immediately to the Gold Fury, which seems to be, or they may even go for the Fire Giant. There's no reason to back here. They do have the Sylvanus heals, but it seems that Cyclone is going to go ahead and call this win, although they are moving right towards that Fire Giant. Strange to see Cyclone back, though, by himself. He was really low, but they're going to need him there if they want to do that Fire Giant.
Do you defend this up?
No, I don't think Cyclone should have backed either. I agree with Incon here. He had Sylvanus heals, and he also would have been able to heal up off the Fire Giant if someone else tanked.
Omega zoning out Jelly, and there's the ultimate from Xbalanque as well. They're trying to pick Jelly here. As around the right-hand side comes Kolz, looking to check the Fire Giant, but still this fight's going on as Jelly inside his ultimate, using the lurk in the waters to ignore getting CC'd for the time being, but aggressed on again, and he has to disengage, but Omega says, no, we will continue this fight. As round the side comes Weaken as well with the Berserker Barrage, trying to pick Jelly's the whole team, and Allied through space and time connects to secure the kill, and the boys of Envy retreat back to the Fire Giant.
He had no way to know that Cyclone had backed for what we know, and it seems that he went up to check that Fire Giant, got caught out of position. He did use the Heavenly and his ultimate to get away, but then he tried to come back in and check again, and that's when he got caught out.
Kolz trying to get around the right-hand side here, though, trying to get to the Fire Giant and defend it. There goes Dwurst running into. He's one of the tankiest ones, but he just went through a portal that I put down. Weaken initiate into Kolz. Good beads and turnaround from Kolz as the Fire Giant still stands for the time being, but I'm not sure for how long. Can Dwurst get in there and secure it? No. Envy get the Fire Giant. Cyclone under pressure, however, from Dwurst on the backside. The shell keeping survivable for the time being, and now Omega still zoning away 3. That's 2 hunters and the Guardian. Cyclone trying to pick up Dwurst.
I want to see Eager chase this fight. This is probably going to be their best chance to win a team fight here. A lot of Envy guys have no mana, half HP, but no one's helping out Dwurst.
No one's helping out Dwurst. Dwurst is going to fall down. Rest in peace, Dwurst. You will be missed. Another man goes down. Fire Giant on all 5 members of Envy now. What do you do?
At this point, this is Eager has to play back. They can't defend their tier 2s anymore, so they got to go back to the Phoenixes, just like last game, and they have to give that final hold. I love the itemization coming out from Kiki there. You see the Lotus Crown to give even more protections. We talked about how he loves to give protections to the teams, so we're getting it from Shell. We're getting it from Auras. We're getting it from Lotus Crown, and we're getting it from the heal. He has 4 different sources giving his team protections in these fights.
Really good situation now for the boys of Envy. They're looking for the finals opportunity to face off against Cognitive, who qualified earlier in the week up against Aware Gaming. They've worked their way through the open bracket tournament here after failing on PC, let's be honest, but they managed to do it on Xbox.
Hey, sometimes you keep competing. As long as you have that competitive spirit, you'll find a way to get yourself to a world.
Competitive spirit will help you out. 37 minutes in now, and they're looking to go down this left-hand side for the final tier 2 tower. Furthest Phoenix away from the Fire Giant too, which is one of the hardest ones to defend up.
Yeah, I mean, look, Envy here to just push down left lane and try to take exactly the hardest Phoenix to defend.
Hardest Phoenix to defend, and now with Kiki in the jungle, well, they're going to find the purple buff has just been dropped by Aircougar. He'll bravely run away, though, alongside his Sobek buddy in tow. I doubt they're going to try and defend the tier 2 here. He's already crippled, below half health already, and Cyclone with a couple of autos will bring that one down. The Phoenix defense is where it's all going to be for the boys of Eager. How do you defend this?
Looks like they're going back to do that Gold Fury. Not so much that even they need it as much as they don't want Eager to maybe backdoor it while they're trying to push a different lane.
Exactly. I mean, that's good discipline here. They don't need to do the Gold Fury, but they want to give Eager as minimal a chance as possible to make a comeback.
And to be fair, with 3 Guardians and 200s, you can defend the Phoenix pretty easily if they dive in a little bit too deep, even with the Fire Giant here.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's important is to have really good wave clear, which is what they have with Chiron and Neith. Envy's really going to have to force the situation if they're going to want to take a Phoenix.
Pressure onto Dwurst there, and that actually was a Soul Reaver proc that hit Dwurst. He's actually a lot tankier than that. Just a Soul Reaver knocked him down to a 3rd HP. Phoenix in middle lane respawns, and that's where Envy's are focusing his attention for now. You can see Omega quite happy to tank this up for days. We can even be able to just walk up and in-hand it down, knowing Omega will tank this up for him.
Yeah, that was pretty much the smartest decision you could have made there. That Phoenix was just respawning, and as we know, it comes back with very little health. So they went ahead and took that down because it was the easiest target. Now we're looking to push up that left lane.
Dwurst takes a lot of poke once again. Omega still tanking this up. Look at his HP bar, still pretty much full health. Fire Giant and Kiki on the backside does go in. Dwurst trying to do some work onto Omega and keep him busy. But on the front side of things, you can see Kiki still in there making a mess. As Allied is still looking for the pick onto Sambam. Will he find the kill? No, juked out to Sambam as Jelly still picks up Allied here. This could be a fight for Eager that goes in their favor. They're still surviving. The boys have done well. They did lose the Phoenix though, as Dwurst still holding the front line with Omega. Omega tanking the Titan there. Takes a lot of poke, and the Lotus Crown has paid dividends for the boys of Envy so far.
Yeah, this is exactly what Eager needed. They needed Envy to make some kind of mistake somewhere, and Ally went a little bit too deep to try to kill Sambam.
He went in and he used the tier 3 beef there to get the cooldown to try to get the unstable vortex back up to kill the Neith. It did come back up. He did use it, but it just missed the Neith. And then he put himself out of position, and it looks like he might have even been hit by the Titan for the final ball.
Not all doom and gloom though for Envy. They did get the Phoenix that they wanted. The middle Phoenix went down as well, and the Fire Giant will be back up by the time Allied respawns for them to go and siege again.
Yeah, and so they were also prepared for the situation. We talked about earlier how they did the Gold Fury. This would have been the situation where Eager went to do the Gold Fury to get some of that money back. Of course, the Gold Fury is not an option because it was done safely earlier, and contesting the Fire Giant is going to be extremely difficult for Eager because not only are they behind so much gold, but they have to push out 2 lanes that are far away from the Fire Giant.
Yeah, exactly. Look Envy to get ward control, vision control all around Eager's jungle, especially on the right side of the map, and then look for Eager to face check and look for picks.
Well, at the moment, you can see exactly how this game plays out. When you get to 6 items, you can see what Envy have chosen here. You've got the Lotus Crown and the Breastplate of Valor there on the Sylvanus towards the end with a Stone of Gaia. Eagles rally, though, from Omega onto Sambam. Still looking for the pressure. Sambam in a lot of trouble as the double tap hits. Weaken will secure that one. And now we'll see Kolz try and run away from this team, walling off the best as he can. But the team is still chasing down. Autos in hand, trying to find the picks. The wall doesn't connect. Kolz still alive for now as Allied swings from the back. A little bit overextended, rejoins his team. They're just slowly pushing on. The pull from Kiki is great. And the wall is even better from Weaken. Jelly has to disengage as well. And Cyclone should be able to bring the Phoenix down the right-hand side once again. This is even before the Fire Giant comes down. Dwurst trying to make the best of it. Spins to win. Pulls Kiki in. Phoenix still alive for the time being. They're still trying to bring it down. On the back though, Cyclone trying to find the kill on Aircougar, and they don't find it. Cougar lives, but Weaken's dunk comes out to save the day. Wall double tap onto Jelly one more time. Jelly still trying to hold on for his life. Gets back to base in time. Dwurst surrounded by 4 members of Envy now. Still holding on, but it looks a little bit too little, too late.
Yeah, not much Eager can do here. You know, valiant effort in trying to defend, and Cougar did outback box Cyclone there behind the Phoenix.
Where's managed to get out? I can't believe we did that, but the tell you something that's not going to go out is the Titan. It looks like Envy have managed to do it. They win the semi-finals against Eager, move themselves on to the finals that we play tomorrow morning up against Cognitive. Boys.
Well, it was a good game, and I can't be more proud of my guys. You know, they had a really crazy road here.
For their first year as well.
For their first year, you know, they didn't really play too much PC. So just really proud of them, and, you know, you got to play at World, so appreciate that, and work hard for next year.
And I am equally proud of my boys over there, Team Envy, representing the boys in blue, so strong. I'm so happy that they're going over, and Omega, of course. And Omega.
I was gonna say.
I'm so happy that they kept that competitive spirit alive, and even though things didn't go how he wanted at the Super Regionals, they found a way to make it here, and they'll be playing in the finals for a World Championship title.
Now, do you reckon Xing can do it?
What was that?
What would you prefer? Would you prefer Xing, or would you prefer it to be Incom's team?
I mean, Xing making it to Worlds was enough. Let's not have him win it, too. I mean, come on.
Kelly, let's go to the stage and see how the Envy boys are feeling. I'm sure they're quite happy with themselves after a great performance today.
So much, Hindu man. I am joined here by Allied. You know, your team didn't make it to Worlds, but you were like, nah, we're going to make it to Worlds anyway. How are you feeling right now going into the finals of the Xbox Invitational?
I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to be it's good finals. We're against Xing. Come on. That's awesome.
All right, Allied, before I send everyone off, hit a b-boy pose. Just. All right, everyone, thank you so much. You can join us tomorrow at 11 a.m. with the first Xbox Invitational Finals, and then after that, we have the grand finals of the Smite World Championships with Enemy and Epsilon. Everyone have a good night.
I was like, wait.